Hey guys, Adam here from DirectionTrader.com, doing my mid-morning looking forward video here for these stock indexes. Let's start out here with the S&P. If you remembered from yesterday's video, I was talking about focusing on this 1812 area. You see I've got my 1812 line here, marking up that level for me to pay attention to going into today's trading. Because look at yesterday's trading, we pushed up, we pulled back. We continued to use this 1812 area as a support yesterday after we popped up above throughout the afternoon. So 1812 was an area we were looking for all morning, and it hasn't disappointed yet. It's kind of been a magnet for this S&P market. In yesterday's video, I stressed if we're above 1812, continue to look to buy off that level, and that's what's been happening here absolutely perfectly. So looking forward here, anything above this 1812, I'm going to continue to look for upside opportunity. I'm watching the VIX pretty closely here, guys. The VIX is continuing to kind of grind its way higher all morning. So ever since the open, it's kind of been grinding its way higher. So that's causing this market to have this little pullback that you see. So I'm curious if the VIX is going to continue to push higher the remainder of the day. If it does, that could put some heavy weight on this S&P to the downside. And if we can get the S&P to actually pop below this 1812, if we can pop below this 1812, we have some support down here around the 91s, 92s. So that'll be the next area that we actually look for here. So if we can get below the 1812s, we do have plenty of room here to trade back to the downside around the 91s. If we stay above the 12s and maybe say the VIX starts to roll over and find this thing turning right back to the downside, look to continue to get opportunities to the upside here. So because basically once we broke through these 1812s and we started to get push here, the only thing really to hold this market are these 44s, and that is going to be this previous highs up here that everybody can see. So, got a good 30 points here we can move in the S&Ps before we start to find some resistance here. So, I'm going to pay a lot of attention to the remainder of the day to the volatility index to see if we're going to continue to push up on the VIX. If it does, that's going to continue to put pressure on this S&P down to this 1812, and if we can break through that 1812s, look for it to go ahead and trade down to about the 91s. We're looking at about the 91, 92 area to find some support over the next, the rest of today going into tomorrow. So after that, we'll talk more about that moving forward. But that's what I'm looking for right now at this point. I just want to hurry up and pop over here to the other indexes here and show you that the NASDAQ has definitely pushed higher and it's retesting them highs, them all-time highs, mind you. So they are definitely just crazy strength going into the NASDAQ, just like the S&P, more so into the NASDAQ. But same rules apply to it as it's finding some resistance here already. The Dow, we're still inside that consolidation area, inside this Fibonacci pullback, sitting right at the 50% level. So a lot of this is going to drive from that VIX, guys. I'm going to continue to watch that VIX just as much as I'm watching these indexes here. And if we can get that VIX to continue to push higher, I'm going to look for shorting opportunities on these indexes. If not, if that VIX starts to roll back to the downside, I'm going to go over to the S&P and look for long opportunities above that 1812. But here's the Russell here. As you see, the Russell, just like the Dow, is holding its 50% level to the short side. Is that going to hold? I don't know. If we can get a pop here in the VIX over the next couple days, I think the Dow and the Russell are going to be your best shorting opportunities to the downside here. So that's it for me today, guys. That's my video here looking forward. Basically, the 1812 on the S&P is what I'm looking at, watching the VIX really closely here. If you have any questions, email me, adam@directiontrader.com. If not, I will see you in tomorrow's video. Have a good afternoon.